Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about karma. Is there such a thing as good karma or bad karma? Feel free to share your thoughts on that below the video. Karma is a concept of Hinduism which describes a system in which beneficial effects are derived from past beneficial actions and harmful effects from past harmful actions, creating a system of actions and reactions throughout a soul's reincarnated lives, forming a cycle of rebirth. The idea behind karma is that our daily actions have a long-term effect on our lives. The Vedas, which are the original Sanskrit texts on India's ancient spiritual culture, include knowledge on every facet of human endeavor, material and spiritual, like a set of reference manuals for achieving ultimate success in this life and the next. The cycle of births and deaths is known in the language of ancient Vedas as samsara, from the time immemorial. It is depicted by the symbol of a time wheel, who governs the universal law of karma and cycle of reincarnation. The Bhagavad Gita, which is considered to be among the greatest spiritual books the world has ever known, confirms that the Lord Krishna is situated in the heart of every living being as the witness of all our activities, thoughts, and desires. He is not partial to anyone, and he awards everyone as they deserve. What happens with the sinful and the pious people at the end of life? The sinners are cast into one of the 28 hellish planets situated at the bottom of the universe. These planets are of different degrees of suffering for those who must endure life there. They are described in the Vedic literature. After suffering on the hellish planets, they take birth in some lower species or a human being who will continue to suffer due to bad karmic reactions. Those who are pious and do good things to other living beings are rewarded by various conveniences in the next life. Why do we have to constantly change bodies? It is due to a universal law of karma, which forces us to enjoy or suffer the outcomes of our activities, good or bad deeds. This law is also known as you sow, so shall you reap. In the Vedas, it is written that what we identify with is nothing but a blend of subtle and gross material bodies. Forgetfulness of our eternal spiritual nature and identification with illusory identities is known in the language of the Vedas as Maya. Along with making great progress in psychology and science in general, in modern times there have been many scientists who, by their scientific research, have proven the continuation of life after the demise of the material body. Dr. Stevenson, psychiatrist and author of several books about documented examples of proof of reincarnation. Dr. Weiss, psychiatrist, hypnotherapist, and author who specializes in past life regression. Tom Shroder is a journalist, writer, editor, and author of several books. His most prominent book is Old Souls. Dr. Michael Newton, hypnotherapist and author of several books. He is considered to be a pioneer in uncovering the mysteries about life after death through the use of spiritual hypnotic regression. William Judge, in his Aphorisms on Karma, wrote that karma may be of three sorts: presently operative in this life through the appropriate instruments, that which is being made or stored up to be exhausted in the future, karma held over from past life or lives and not yet operating because inhibited by inappropriateness of the instrument in use by the ego or by the force of karma now operating. William Judge, pupil of Helena Blavatsky, wrote in his Karmic Aphorisms, "Karma is an undeviating and unerring tendency in the universe to restore equilibrium, and it operates incessantly." To the same effect wrote Helena Blavatsky, Russian mystic and author who co-founded the Theosophical Society in the secret Doctrine. The only decree of karma, an eternal and immutable decree, is absolute harmony in the world of matter as in the world of spirit. It is not therefore karma that rewards or punishes, but it is we who reward and punish ourselves, according as we work with and through nature, abiding by the laws on which that harmony depends, or breaking them. Karma creates nothing, nor does it design. It is man who plans and creates causes, and karmic law adjusts the effects, which adjustment is not an act but universal harmony tending ever to resume its original position, like a bow which, bent down too forcibly, rebounds with corresponding vigor. In the future is open good karma, bad karma, and beyond karma. Chögyam Trungpa explores our understanding of the Buddhist doctrines of karma and rebirth. The author is interested in presenting a view of the Buddhist path and the practice of meditation that can actually help people to wake up. The author talks about karma as a path of awakening. He identifies meditation practice as the way in which we can actually step outside of the wheel of karmic bondage and, for moments at least, stop creating future karma, whether good or bad. The past may be determined by our previous actions, but the next moment, the future, is always uncharted territory. The author states that, in fact, the future is open. Karma is like a game of chess. Wherever you are on the board at this moment is the result of your past actions. But whatever you are going to do in the next moment depends on the present situation. The present situation is partially influenced by the past. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. But at the same time, the present is also influenced by the future, which is open space and freedom. Trying to hold on to your good karma too tightly could be a problem, in which case good karma can become bad karma. If you're very righteous about your good karma, if you feel that you have to hang on to it and defend it, then it turns sour and ends up on the side of bad karma. The genuine good karma is that somebody taught you how to practice sitting meditation, and you do that again and again, so that you know how to handle and work with yourself. Having learned the technique of the sitting practice of meditation is regarded as good karma. According to Chögyam Trungpa, there is nothing more than that. The Master Sha's best-selling Soul Power series, Divine Transformation, the divine way to self-clear karma to transfer your health, relationship, finances, and more, teaches the divine way to transform every aspect of your life, including your health, relationship, finances, and more. The author says that the law of karma is the universal law of universal service. It explains how the universe operates and how a human being's life is arranged. A human being's life has two conditions. One is the arranged condition, how long a person will live, the condition of one's love relationships and family relationships, one's financial condition, and one's spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health. All of these are arranged according to one's karma, good and bad. The other condition of a human being's life is the changeable condition. This means that a person can transform his or her life. The karmic law explains this very clearly. If one offers universal service, all aspects of life, including health, relationships, finances, and more, can become better. One's life can become longer, healthier, and happier. If one offers unpleasant service, all aspects of life, including health, relationships, finances, and more, could become worse. One's life can become shorter, with more challenges and struggles in every aspect. Karmic law explains clearly that life can be transformed. The key is to clear bad karma and to accumulate good karma, or good virtue, through good service. Master Sha is sure that offering service to others is important for self-clearing karma. Serve others with love, care, compassion, generosity, kindness, sincerity, integrity, grace, humility, purity, and more. Heaven records every service. When you serve, virtue is given in the form of heaven's flowers to your soul, and your book in the Akashic Records, which is a compendium of all human knowledge that can be accessed on the astral plane. Virtue is spiritual currency. Virtue will pay your karmic debts. When your karmic debts are paid, the lessons you were to learn are cancelled. Disasters that were arranged for your life are removed on the spot. These disasters could include life-threatening sickness, extremely challenging relationships and finances, and many blockages in any aspect of life. The universal law of universal service, or karmic law, can explain every aspect of everything and everyone's life. Therefore, how can one transform one's life? The answer can be summarized in one sentence. To transform life is to offer universal service. The more universal service one offers, the more transformation one can achieve. John Kabat-Zinn, the author of Wherever You Go, There You Are, writes that karma means that this happens because that happened. B is connected in some way to A. Every effect has an antecedent cause, and every cause and effect that is its measure and its consequences, at least at the non-quantum level. Overall, when we speak of a person's karma, it means that sum total of the person's direction in life and the tenor of the things that occur around the person caused by antecedent conditions, actions, thoughts, feelings, sense impressions, desires. Karma is often wrongly confused with the notion of a fixed destiny. It is more like an accumulation of tendencies that can lock us into particular behavior patterns, which themselves result in further accumulations of tendencies of a similar nature. So it is easy to become imprisoned by our karma and to think that the cause is always lies elsewhere, with other people and conditions beyond our control, never within ourselves. But it is not necessary to be a prisoner of old karma. It is always possible to change our karma. You can make new karma. Mindfulness can refashion the links to the chain of actions and consequences, and in doing so, it unchains us, frees us, and opens up new directions for us through the moments we call life. Without mindfulness, we are all too easily stuck in the momentum coming out of the past, with no clue to our own imprisonment and no way out. Our dilemma always seems to be the other person's fault, or the world's fault, so our own views and feelings are always justified. Ultimately, it is our mindlessness that imprisons us. We get better and better at being out of touch with the full range of our possibilities, and more stuck in our cultivated over a lifetime habits of not seeing but only reacting and blaming. If we hope to change our karma, it means we have to stop making those things happen that cloud mind and body and color our every action. It doesn't mean doing good deeds. It means knowing who you are and that you are not your karma, whatever it may be at this moment. It means aligning yourself with the way things actually are. It means seeing clearly. Where to start? Why not with your own mind? After all, it is the instrument through which all your thoughts and feelings, impulses and perceptions are translated into actions in the world. When you stop outward activity for some time and practice being still, right there, in that moment, with that decision to sit, you are already breaking the flow of old karma and creating an entirely new and healthier karma. Herein lies the root of change, the turning point of a life lived. Karma and Rebirth by Christmas Humphreys is the book on twin doctrines of karma and rebirth. The author explains that karma, in the sense of the reign of moral law, is neither particularly Hindu, Buddhist, nor theosophical. This law of merit and demerit is fundamental in all Oriental philosophy. One of the fundamental principles of karma is called the cycle of necessity, the necessary pilgrimage of every soul from purest spirit into darkness matter, and then on the return journey home. The cause of death is birth. Karma is the product of avidya, ignorance, the dark illusion which is the womb of suffering and the basis of causation and its endless progeny of cause-effect. Compounded of good and evil, man as we know him is good in proportion as he has found the light within and learned to let the light shine. And he is bad to the extent that he is still under the dominance of Maya, illusion or relative reality, and lets himself be led by the lower personal desire. The author is sure that karma is neither good or bad, and it is inaccurate to speak of good karma or bad karma. Karma is how we view, it is our own affair. None but an adept, a master of the law, can judge another's karma. We who see but a few strands of the web cannot know the design of which these tangled threads are part. What may seem at the time misfortune may, by clearing away the refuse of past error, open a way to further advancement. Good fortune may so puff up the recipient that from spiritual pride he falls to the ground again, and suffering tests and strengthens character. The habit of avoiding man-made labels for the day's events is itself an advance in character. It is a sign of strength to appreciate that everything that is has had a cause, and that all that befalls one is genuinely right. For the study of karma, it is best to consider the man at the level of his individuality or soul. Here the self creates, uses, suffers, and in a very real sense is its karma, and those who study Jung's diagram will note with interest that this self unites the most outward and most inward, most material and most spiritual parts of the whole. For the keynote of the law of karma is equilibrium, and nature is always working to restore that equilibrium whenever through man's acts it is disturbed. Man is punished by his sins, not for them. Karma neither rewards nor punishes. It only restores lost harmony. He who suffers deserves his suffering, and he who has reason to rejoice is reaping where he has sown. Sadhguru, in his book Karma, a Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Destiny, explains that spiritual seekers usually want to shed their karma, but it is important to remember that karma is not our enemy. Karma can become wounding and deeply entangling if we don't learn how to handle it, but we would not be able to live without karma. The yogic system suggested in the book gives no commandments whatsoever. It leaves you free to choose whether you want to generate positive karma for the future, distance yourself from the karmic package, or dissolve it altogether. The choice is yours. If you find your foot recurrently crushed under a wheel, the problem is not with the wheel. The problem is that you have no clue how to ride joyfully toward the destination of your choice, secure in the knowledge that you are in control of your own journey. In actual fact, karma is nothing to do with reward and punishment, nothing to do with virtue and sin, good and evil, God and Mr. Lucifer. Sadhguru is sure that karma is not a doctrine, it is simply the way things are. Karma is like old software that you have written for yourself unconsciously. Karma is action on 3 levels: body, mind, and energy. Depending on the type of physical, mental, and energetic actions you perform, you write your software. Once the software is written, your whole system functions accordingly. Based on the information from the past, certain memory patterns keep recurring. Now your life turns habitual, repetitive, and cyclical. Over time, you become ensnared by your own patterns. Like so many people, you probably don't know why certain situations keep recurring in your inner and outer life. This is because these patterns are unconscious. As time goes on, you turn into a puppet of your accumulated past. If one does not consciously rewrite one's karmic software, the regularity of the pattern can feel like it has been imposed from without rather than initiated from within. But this software is not a fate to be endured. It can be rewritten, dropped, or distanced. In short, karma operates on many different planes. You cannot shake it off with physical illness or accident, dementia, psychosis, or death. You will notice that even those who are mentally ill do not behave similarly. Their karmic structure may be out of control, but it still governs the way they behave. Unless you loosen the grip of karma, then is no way out. That's everything I wanted to share with you. Please share your thoughts on karma in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think that karma can be somehow mitigated, for example, by serving and helping others, doing yoga or meditation, worshipping God and conducting pilgrimages to sacred places, or simply by practicing being still and aligning yourself with the way things actually are. If you're interested in the books I mentioned, you can find the references and links to them in the description below the video. If you enjoyed this video and you are not already subscribed to this channel, then consider doing that now. Just click that subscribe button below so that you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching.